Alright guys, I'm going to give you an update on my Dunstan chestnuts that I have grown from seed. This here is a tree that I grew from seed 3 years ago. As you can see, it's flowering. And dropped my cane here. Had a little surgery on my foot, and I'm having to walk around with a cane. It's about 5 feet tall right now. See the flowers here? They're starting to open up. Give it another week, they'll be real fuzzy. Some of them are starting to open up. There's some new growth right there. Not real happy with this tree growth wise, but I used to have it in a different spot, and I think that's part of the reason. It's been transplanted a couple of times, so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt on that. It's partly my fault. Here's some good pictures of some flowers. Guys, right here we're going to come over to a couple of Dunstans that here's one that I found on clearance 2 years ago at Walmart. So you can probably hear my neighbor's dogs barking at me. This one right here took off real well. The first year it just kind of persisted, you know, it did not look very good. You know, I think I have a video of it the first year. The second year it really took off. And as you can see, it's just getting started flowering. And I expect it to produce some nuts this year, or I hope it produces some nuts this year. Let's put it that way. My wish is that it produces some nuts this year. As you can see, it's got pretty good caliper sized tree. Oh, it looks like I got some fire ant growth there around the base of the tree. Fire ant mound I need to treat. Looks like they moved on at least. When I moved it, there was no ants that came out, so it's a good sign. But the caliper of the base of the tree is good. It's growing. Again, I fertilized all these trees earlier with some acidic fertilized. I found it at Walmart. I think the fertilizer is some fertilizer you would use on azaleas and things like that. Here's a good shot of some unopened catkins. And the way I understand it, if the burrs were to form, they would form somewhere over in this area, right into here. Could be all wrong in that though. Over here is another Walmart Dunstan tree. Purchased the same time as the other one I just showed you. However, it has not done so well. It is 10 feet from the other. Look at the drastic difference. That other tree was a good probably 15-20 foot tall. This tree is maybe 6 foot tall. Has very small leaves. It has gotten the same fertilizer, the same amount of water, the same everything. The soil is different by 10 feet. Of course, I understand, you know, the makeup of the soil could be different. Look at the caliper of the base of the tree. I realize that's hard to tell from the video, but it's drastically different. I mean, the other tree was a good 3 inch in diameter. I mean, that's a good inch. This tree just isn't growing very good. I mean, it's growing, but it's just not growing very well. It's got some catkins. It's the same age, as far as I know. Like I said, it was purchased at the same time. That tree over there is going to be loaded with catkins, and this tree is just producing a few this year. So I don't know. Disappointed in this one. Maybe it was big bat harder than its brother over there, or its sister, I guess. This tree right here was grown from seed. It's a Dunstan, or Chinese, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, it is absolutely loaded with catkins. It's about 7 foot tall. And I've got it tied over since the top of it died out, trying to make one of its branches the central leader. As it was kind of growing kind of funky before last year. But as you can see, it is absolutely loaded, and I expect it to produce some nuts this year, or I hope it does. You can see down there I got it tied over a little bit. And I can smell the pollen in the air. But there's not anything around to pollinate with right now. I hope it. Apparently this is an early variety. That's the only downside. I hope there's something around for it to pollinate, or it hangs on long enough for something else to get ready, because it sure does look pretty. Let me stand back a little bit and get a wider angle. Alright, now we're getting into my buck 4 trees that I grew from seed. This one's loaded with catkins too this year. Just now starting to open. It's forget how old it is. If you've been following my videos, you'll know. I think it's 6 years old. It's time to start producing some nuts, I know that. This is supposed to be a late dropping variety, hopefully, if you're familiar with the buck 4s. But this was grown from a seed, so who knows. If you're familiar with the backstory, this was grown from a chestnut that was picked up from under a buck 4 tree. So in theory, if the chestnut carries the same gene as its mother tree, the late dropping gene, it too shall be late dropping. But who knows what it crossed with in the orchard, so it may or may not be. Only time will tell. And it's getting time for these trees to tell its secret if they are late dropping or not. Okay, so this is I believe it is also a 6-year-old tree. This is also a buck 4 tree. It is the one that produced the one and only nut I got last year. However, I tried to grow that nut this year, and it did produce a radical. However, recently it dried up on me and did not ever grow any further and died on me. So was not successful in producing a seedling out of it, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. So I hope to get some more trees or some more nuts this year from this tree. I hope it produces a few more nuts than just one this year. It had a burr that had there was actually 3 chestnuts in the burr, but 2 of the others did not get pollinated. They were all shriveled up. Only the chestnut in the middle got pollinated. And like I said, it did produce a root radical. I was successfully able to get it to germinate, but it never would produce any top growth, and it shriveled up and died. So this tree right here is a good 30 feet tall now. It's growing good. It is got some insect growth, got some insect damage on it. Looks like I need to spray it. It is just now producing some catkins in various places. See, these are really late. These are just now getting started. beginning to wonder if there's any on it. I mean, they're not near as noticeable as some of the others. There's some right here. There's a bunch on it. They're just now getting started. So I imagine another probably 2 to 3 weeks, this tree will look real pretty. Man, it's got some insect damage. I wonder what's chewing on it. There's some right there. This tree right here is another late dropper, supposed to be. It's good 30 foot tall. It's got that one spire that goes all the way to the top there. It's just now getting started, producing catkins. It's not as full as some of the others too. It's kind of bare looking. Real tiny leaves. Here's a good one. See some right there. There's some right there on the very end of that. We're scheduled to get some good rains today, so these trees will get a good watering. Here's another buck 4. As you can see, it's just now getting started as well. It's got some real tiny catkins on it. You can really kind of tell the buck 4s from everything, because the catkins are real far behind the Dunstans in development. And over here, I bought this tree last year from Home Depot just to add a little variety, and had some health issues and didn't get it trimmed up or pruned up like I wanted to. Didn't really, started not to even show it on camera actually. This is a Chinese chestnut. Don't know what variety or anything, but like I said, I just kind of wanted to add some different variety to the little orchard I got here. Sorry for the long video, guys, but I know some of you wanted to see the orchard and what it looked like in the spring here, and being that I've been in the hospital, I hadn't had the opportunity to make a video until now, so hope you guys enjoy.